Good morning. Today I'll be covering on topic 4, rate and speed. Question number 1. During the annual cross-country day, Martin competes in the 5 kilometers race. Martin's average speed was 250 meters per minute. Looking at the question, what is important in this question is the distance, 5 kilometers, and the speed is 250 meters per minute. So distance is D, speed is S. When you see this kind of scenario, I hope you can still remember we are always using this. All right, stop the dinosaur. All right, use this as a way to remember stop. All right, distance is equals to speed times time. So I'm going to the first question first. A, convert 250 meters per minute to kilometers per hour. So when I see this question, I will need to actually write 250 meters per minute as a fraction first. How do I actually convert 250 meters to become kilometer? I will have to divide by 1000. How about converting 1 minute to become hour? It's actually 1 divided by 60. So you will press this in the calculator. After you've done this already, use a calculator. You should be able to get 15 kilometers per hour. This is the solution for part A. Find the time Martin takes to complete the race. Time is T. All right, so based on stop the dinosaur, T is, all right, if you cover T, I hope you can see that distance is over speed. So time is actually D over S. The distance is 5 kilometers. I will need to divide by 15 kilometers per hour. So 5 divided by 15. I have 1/3 hour. Sometimes the question will want you to convert the hour to become minutes. So just in case this happen, so 1/3 times 60 minutes. Because 60 minutes is equals to an hour, which is equals to 20 minutes. So this is the solution to question number 1. Question number 2. Then travel 368 kilometers from KL to Singapore. He left KL at 10:50 and arrived in Singapore at 16:25. Find the average speed in kilometers per hour for Dan's journey. This question highlights distance 368 kilometers. The time taken, is it given? But we can find it. All right, we're supposed to find the average speed in kilometers per hour. So to handle this question, again, we are using stop the dinosaur. All right, so since we are supposed to find speed, will be D over T. Do we have D? D is actually 368 kilometer. But do we have the time? All right. So now we are supposed to find the time. Then start the journey at 10:50. To make it easier, I plus 10 minutes first to reach 11. Since he arrived in Singapore at 16:25, I plus 25 minutes first. So I will have 11:25. To make it less confused, I add one more hour to it, 12:25. And lastly, I will go all the way to the end, 16:20. I will plus another, how many hours? 4 hours. So the total time taken, it will be 10 minutes plus 25 minutes plus 1 hour plus 4 hours. I will have 5 hours, 35 minutes. So if I want to convert everything to become hour, I will have 5:35 over 60 hours. Now I have to calculate the time. I put in the time to be here. 5:35 over 60. With this, I will use the calculator. Fraction sign, 368 divided by 5:35 over 60. All right, the average speed I will get 65.9 kilometers per hour. Question number 3. The water flow from a tap at the rate of 105 cm cube per second. Convert 105 cm cube per second to liters per minute. Cm cube, when we convert to become another units under millimeters. So just for information, 100 cm cube is actually 105 ml. All right, where do you see ml? When you buy drinks or when you see milk, be able to see that. So now I'm going to do the conversion to liters per minute. So I will write 105 millimeters per second as a fraction first. 105 ml over 1 second. How do I convert to become liters? I will write as 105 divided by 1000. How do I convert 1 second to become minutes? It's 1 divided by 60. After I've written this, I will just use the calculator. Fraction sign again, 105 divided by 1000, 1 divided by 60. I will get 6.3 liters per minute. Calculate the numbers of minutes it takes for the tap to fill a 250 liters container. All right, how many minutes? 1 minute, I can actually flow 6.3 liters. Now the container required 250 liters. So how many times will it be? So we're using 250 divided by 6.3. All right, I'll get around 39.6825. All right, so I will get the same thing, 39.6825. So I will need about 39.6825 minutes. I can convert to become 3SF. So it will be 39.7 minutes. That's the answer. Right, this is the solution for question number 3. Question number 4. On a road trip, Grant buys 50 liters of petrol to refuel his car. The cost of the petrol is $2.36 per liters in Malaysia. Given that the exchange rate between Singapore and Malaysia ringgit is 1:3.1 ringgit, find the total amount of money he has to pay in Singapore dollars. Okay, for this question, there are several parts that you have to understand. First part, I'll just use the highlighter first. Grant buys 50 liters of petrol. The cost of petrol is 2.36 ringgit per liters. So how much he has to pay for the petrol? Okay, so the first thing I will have to do, I find total cost of petrol. One liters is 2.36. I buy 50 liters. So this answer, 2.36 times 50 will be 118. 118, is it in Singapore dollars or in ringgit? This question at the moment is under ringgit. Okay, after you found the total cost of the petrol, this is the next thing that you have to do. All right, you have to find the total of money he has to pay in Singapore dollars. Since they're asking in Singapore dollars, when I write the exchange rate, I must write Singapore dollars first. It will be easier. All right, so Singapore dollars is there. Singapore dollars equals to 3.1 ringgit. So 118 ringgit here. All right, from 3.1 to become 118, I will use 118, the big number, over the small number. All right, I will get the value of 38.0645. Since this is money, I will stop at 2 decimal place. So my answer will be 38.06. Singapore dollars. Okay, so this is the solution for question number 4. I shall continue. I think I have about 3 more questions to go. It's all about rate. Okay, question number 5. This is the rate in terms of interest. Edwin has 5,000 to invest for 5 years. 5,000 is actually 5,000 5 years. So 5,000 is what we call P, or sometimes we call it M for money. All right. 5 years is actually N. Sometimes we use T as well. Depends on which one you're using. 2 options. Option A is given as 4% simple interest per annum. Meaning 1 year, I will get 4% interest. Part B, or option B, 3.5 compound interest. For this, straight away, I can go and look for this formula P bracket 1 plus R over 100 N. By the way, the percentage here is what we call R. Which option actually produce more interest for Edwin and by how much? So now I do option A first. Different teachers will teach differently. Some of you will actually use this formula. Interest is equals to MRT over 100. Some teachers or the textbook will say PRT over 100. So M is talking about money, 5,000. R is talking about rate, so it's 4%. So I'll just only write as 4. And lastly, multiply by T, that is the time, divided by 100. 5,000 multiplied by 4, 5, divide by 100. I will get 1,000 interest. This is for 5 years. Another way of calculating option A, if you want, is that you can find the total number of interest in 5 years. So 1 year, 4%. 5 years, I will have 20%. So 20% I earn. So I times 5,000. I will get the same answer as 1,000. So this is all the different ways to get the answer for part of option A. Option B. Option B, we have no other choice but to use the formula because it's using compound interest. P, 1 plus R over 100, and P is 5,000. 1 plus 3.5 per 100, 5 years. After this, you use the calculator. 5,000, 1 plus 3.5 over 100, the power of 5. Okay, you will get the answer of 5,938.43 cents. This is the total amount for 5,938. That's why the number looks very big. So if I want to find the interest, I will actually need to use 5,938.43 minus 5,000. I will get 938.43 cents. So each one is better. All right, looking at the amount, one is 1,000, the other one is 900. So I will say, or I can declare, option A is better. Produce more interest. By how much? I will use 1,000 minus 938.43. So the difference is actually $61.57. All right, please have a look at question number 5. This is really decision making, and it's a very common question in the exam. Question number 6. A swimming pool can be filled with water in N hours using 8 pumps. N hours using 8 pumps. Find in terms of N, meaning we are talking about a bit about algebra here. How many hours would it take to fill the food using 3 pumps? By looking at this question, what do you think? Is it direct or indirect proportion? Direct or indirect? Direct meaning when one go up, the other quantity will go up. Indirect, when one go up, the other one will go down. This indirect is not really talking about time, because less time means faster. So looking at this question is actually under indirect proportion. So right now, this is what I can do. 8 pumps. I will use n hour. If I have only 1 pump, I will divide by 8, meaning I drop. The other one will increase. So I will times 8 equals to 8n. Now I have only 3 pumps. So now I increase by 3 times. The other one will decrease. So divide by 3. So my answer will be 8n over 3 as the answer. So this is for question number 6. Hopefully you catch the idea. Question 7. Danish went on the holidays with his family from London in September. The flight from Singapore to London took 13 hours, and London time is 7 hours behind Singapore time. The flight left Singapore at 10 a.m. What time would it be when it landed? Okay, it took 13 hours. London time is 7 hours behind Singapore. The flight left at 10 a.m. So I will approach this question in using Singapore time first. Using the timeline, Singapore time. All right, I start off at 10 a.m. Singapore time. How long does it take for the flight? It takes 13 hours. 13 hours. So by the time I land in London, but Singapore time, I will be having 23:00 hours. All right, arrive in London, but based on Singapore timing. Okay, the question is asking, what time was it in London? Meaning I have to find London time when the plane landed in London. So I will need to use 23. All right, I can minus 7 hours. Okay, so I will get 16 hours. Or I can just say 4 p.m. London time. Okay, all right, so this is for 7, 8. Exchange rate again. The exchange rate between Singapore dollars and British pound was $1 equals to 0.45 British pound. Danish changed 600 Singapore dollars into British pound. Calculate the amount of British pound he will receive. Singapore dollars first, because it's going to change Singapore dollars 600. right? British pound, 0.45. So now I increase by how many times? I'll change 600 times 600. So this also times 600. So 0.45 times 600, I will get British pound 270. 270 only, not 2007. All right, $270 as the answer. Is there any part C? Oh, no more. All right, that's all for topic number 4.